So your stranded cotton, you basically, what I find is the easiest is trying to find that end that's coming from the middle. Okay, so you can see that's coming out there, and you want to just pull on that and it should pull out nice and easily. And what you want is basically a length down to your elbow. Okay, you see my elbow? Yeah, just about. Okay, you want something about that long. So probably about, what, 30 centimeters, 25, something like that. Basically something longer. Could end up getting kind of twisted around itself and knotted in the back of your fabric. Or what happens as well is as you're sewing with it, that friction kind of wears away at the thread, so then it starts to break in the middle of you stitching with it, which you don't want either. So not too long, just like that. And depending on basically how thick you want your lines, some techniques call for different amounts of thread, but for the most part it just depends on how thick you want your lines. You can decide how many of those strands you want to stitch with. But no matter how many you're stitching with, I always recommend to separate them out. So easiest way to do that is to just pick on one and hold your thread at the top and just pull that out. So you can see the bottom gets a bit tangled up there, but it smooths out nicely. Okay, so you have one thread out there, and if you want to do, say we'll stitch with 2 threads, so I'll just do that again. So just pulling straight up, just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna start with putting 2 threads in the needle, but even if I wanted to use all these 4 together, and the next time I'm still going to separate them all out. And the reason that I do that is because they kind of sit nicer together. So I don't know if you can see at the moment those 4 threads, they're all kind of twisted around each other, where if you separate everything out and then you stitch with them like that, they just lie a bit nicer together. They lie flatter, and they don't twist around each other as much. So it doesn't make a huge difference, but it can be worth it. Okay.